So, a lot of us know Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I mean, it's a masterclass in personal productivity, right? But here's the thing. Covey believed that in today's world, just being effective isn't the final goal. There's an evolution beyond it. And today, we're going to explore that next dimension, the 8th habit. Think about it. You meet your deadlines, you manage your team, you're hitting your targets. By all the usual measures, you are totally effective. But does that success actually bring you a deep sense of fulfillment, of contribution? That's the real question we're going to dig into together in this explainer.
See, this journey from being effective to being great, it isn't about doing more stuff. It's about becoming more. We're living in a time where so many people are climbing that ladder of success only to get to the top and realize it's been leaning against the completely wrong wall.
It's that nagging feeling, isn't it? That even with all the success, something's just missing. You can feel it. There's this gap between who we are right now and who we are truly capable of becoming. And this is the exact pain point that the 8th habit was designed to solve.
So, what is this 8th habit anyway? Well, it's beautifully simple and at the same time profoundly challenging. It really has 2 parts. First, you have to find your own unique voice. And second, you've got to use that discovery to inspire the people around you to find theirs. It's a fundamental shift from me to we. Okay, so before you can even think about leading or inspiring anyone else, all the work has to start inside. This first step, finding your voice, is that personal victory that absolutely has to come before any public one.
Covey calls finding your voice unlocking your soul's code. I mean, what a powerful way to put it, right? It means doing work that doesn't just pay the bills, but genuinely taps into your deepest talents and passions. It's the difference between just having a job and answering a real calling. Now, to find that calling, we first have to understand ourselves as whole people. And Covey breaks this down into 4 universal needs that drive every single one of us. The physical need to live, the mental need to learn, our emotional need to love and connect, and that spiritual need to leave a legacy, a contribution that outlasts us. So how do those needs lead us to our voice? Well, your unique calling is found right where these 4 elements overlap. It starts with your talent, your natural gifts. Then comes your passion, what truly energizes and excites you. This has to connect with a need, a problem in the world that people will actually pay you to solve. And finally, it's all guided by your conscience, that inner voice telling you what the right thing to do is. When those 4 circles come together, it's not just a small improvement. As Covey puts it, it's a massive unlocking of personal power and potential. This is where greatness is born. Now, finding your own voice is a hugely powerful first step, but it's only half the journey. True greatness, that arrives when you shift your focus from yourself to helping those around you. And just think about the word inspire. Its Latin origin, inspire, literally means to breathe life into. Isn't that just a beautiful concept? This is what great leaders do. They don't just manage people, they breathe life into them, helping them connect with their own amazing potential. So how do you actually breathe that life into others? Covey lays out 4 key roles. First is modeling, which basically means being a living example of trustworthiness. Second is pathfinding, where you collaborate with your team to create a shared vision. Third is aligning, where you build systems that actually support that vision. And finally, empowering, where you unleash your team's talent by focusing on results, not methods, and then you just get out of their way. So those 4 roles are the what, but how do you actually do it? This is where we get into the leader's playbook, the practical tools for building the trust and influence you need to really inspire others. A huge concept here is the circle of influence. You see, proactive people, they focus their energy on what they can control. And this positive focus actually makes their influence grow. Reactive people, on the other hand, they focus on things they can't control, often blaming and complaining, and that negative energy, it literally causes their influence to shrink. Your choice of focus directly determines your power to lead. Okay, here's one of Covey's most powerful metaphors, the emotional bank account. Think of it like this. Every single interaction you have with someone is either a deposit or a withdrawal. The balance in that account represents the level of trust in your relationship. Simple as that. So what are these deposits and withdrawals? Well, deposits are things like simple kindness, genuinely listening, and maybe the most important one, keeping your promises. Withdrawals are the opposite, showing disrespect, breaking promises, or just ignoring people. A high-trust relationship is simply one where the deposits are consistently outweighing the withdrawals. But what's the exchange rate here? I mean, it's not one-to-one, not even close. Research shows it takes about 4 positive actions, 4 deposits, to make up for the damage of just 1 negative one. That's a 4-to-1 ratio. It's a pretty stark reminder of our own negativity bias, how one bad experience can just overshadow a bunch of good ones. It shows you just how fragile trust really is and how carefully we need to manage it. In leadership, in teamwork, in life, look, love is wonderful, but trust is the absolute currency of greatness. It is the foundation that everything else is built on. When we find our voice and we learn to inspire others, something really profound happens. Our focus starts to elevate from just our daily tasks to our ultimate contribution, our legacy. Ultimately, the entire 8th habit is about this one fundamental shift in your mindset. It's moving from a place of scarcity, always asking what's in it for me, to a mindset of contribution. What can we together give to the world? This single shift, it changes everything. This quote just perfectly captures the spirit of the 8th habit. Greatness isn't found in being selfish. It's found through service. It's in the act of genuinely contributing that we find our highest selves and really unlock the greatness of the human soul. And so we end by turning the question back to you. We've explored this path from effectiveness to greatness, a path of finding your voice and inspiring others. But now, the only question that really matters is this one. What is the voice that you were meant to share with the world?